So, hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your guest Solange Daniel, and I'm back with another video. In this video, we are just going to talk about things. Alright, I'm just going to talk about me and some little things and some little updates. So currently, your girl is learning how to say no. I've found out that I'm an empath, so I tend to say yes to a lot of things because this is because I feel like when I say no, this person might stop loving me or start hating me. That is what I always think at the back of my mind. But I've been listening to podcasts. I've been practicing how to say no, and I've come to the realization that I love me. And if me saying no to something you requested of me makes you to stop loving me or to not want to be my friend, then you were never my friend. And it's alright. And that's okay. I don't need to be friends with everybody. I don't need everybody to like me. Alright? I am the first daughter of an African household. So I was brought up to say yes to almost every request. That is something with the African culture. If you say no, you're being disrespectful. So growing up in that environment is just something with African culture. Growing up in that environment, I pick up this habit to say yes to almost every request. Even the requests that I don't want to do, I'll say yes to because that was what I was brought up with. So finding myself in a situation where I finally realized that that is unhealthy, I decided to go on this journey to learn how to say no, to understand. I started by understanding why I am like this, and now I'm at the level where I'm learning how to say no. And the consequences that come with saying no, I've also gotten to a level where I'm okay with it. If saying no to you means that you will no longer want to be my friend, it's alright. I am okay with it because I've come to realize that you liking me or wanting to be my friend should not be tied to the favors I give to you. Like, it shouldn't be tied to that. If that's the case, then that's not a friendship. That's just not friendship. So if if your friendship with me depends on the favors I give to you, I render to you, I don't think I want to be friends with you. And another thing is that when you're an empath, you tend to say yes to a lot of things that you don't want to do. What happens is that at workplace, people will take advantage of you. Like, I've actually experienced that, and I'm learning how to say no to those requests. Like, you have two hands and two legs, go do it yourself. You are alive, you are not handicapped, you are alright, so go do it yourself. But what I've turned to understand is that people like to take advantage of people who are very kind, and you have to learn how to say no, stand up for yourself, and be like, I'm not doing this. I don't care what the result is, but I am not doing this. And another thing I have come to learn is that when I say no, I don't owe you an explanation. It is me, it is my life, it is my mouth. I have the right to say no. You don't owe anybody an explanation. If someone is like, oh, as you're passing by that road, can you stop and get this for me? If you know it's an inconvenience for you, it's alright to say no. And you don't owe them an explanation. Just say, I can't. Sorry, I can't. Or, sorry, some other time. Sorry, maybe when another time when I'm not this busy, but I can't right now. And they will look for a solution to get it done. They will look for a way to get it done. You are not the only option. I think one of the issues we tend to face as empaths is that we are thinking that we don't want to let that person down. We're also thinking that what if we are the only option? You are not. We are not the only option. Tell the person no, and I promise you they will look for another way out of seeing it happen. So it's alright to say no. It's alright to not want to be used. It's alright to put yourself first and be like, I can't do this. I can't drive all the way on the other side. I'm sorry I can't do that. But basically, as I was saying, I'm learning to say no, and I'm loving it so far. I'm loving it. Another thing with my life now that I'm working on is, because something I tend to realize is that when I don't say no to you, when I don't say no to that request, when that I know I cannot do, that I know it's an inconvenience, what happens is that I tend to resent that person that's taking advantage of me. I tend to resent you. I tend to resent that person that is making so much requests. I tend to resent that person that I didn't say no to me, where all I had to say was no, I can't do it. And the feeling of resentment is not a good feeling. And realizing that all I have to do to avoid that feeling of resentment is to say sorry I can, or to say I can't. I think I prefer to say I can. I think I prefer to say I can't. Like, I really cannot do it. It is not something that gives you immediate gratification. It is something that at the long run you will come to realize that saying yes to everybody does not make you likable. It makes you usable. It makes people can easily use you and drop you when they are done. And you're a human being, you don't need to be treated that way. But this is where it comes in, where you have to learn to stand up for yourself, to be like, I cannot do that. I'm sorry, I cannot do it. If you want to say I'm sorry, it's alright. In most cases, I just go. Right now, I'm like, I can't. And that's it. Then I can suggest someone else for you. I could be like, oh, maybe person A might be in the best position to help you. But right now, me, I can't. I cannot. I just don't want to be in a position where I end up resenting you, instead of a situation where all I had to do was say I cannot. If you get what I mean. And like I was saying, people will turn to use you when they realize you're an empath. So you have to learn how to say I can't. You have to learn how to say no. You have to learn how to stand on business. Be like, oh no, that is your job. Jurisdiction or description or whatever. That is your area of expertise. You do it. Sorry, I cannot. Sorry, I can't. I have to catch my boss. Sorry, I can't. I have to be home by this time. Sorry, I can. You know how to do it. You do it yourself. You have to learn how to stand up for yourself. I know there's this spirit of guilt that comes with it. I know there's this spirit of guilt that comes with saying no, especially if you're an empath. But you need to understand that saying no is a form of self-love. Saying no means you love yourself so much and you don't want to put yourself in that situation. You need to understand that people will treat you the way you treat yourself. People will love you the way you love yourself. So you need to love yourself enough to know that I don't need to bury myself in other people's work. I don't need to let people walk over me to prove that I love them or I care about them. I don't need to be placed in a position where I'm being used to portray how much I care about you. No. If it's getting to that position, that's really toxic and that's bad for you. And you have to stand up and say no. You have to stand up and say I can't. You have to learn how to put yourself first. Love yourself. Stand for yourself. Even the Bible says charity begins at home. What does that mean? Whatever love you're going to give out there, you have to start by giving it to yourself. and people around you. So if you keep letting people use you and take advantage of you because you don't know how to say no, that only shows that you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself enough to stand up for yourself. You don't love yourself enough to give yourself grace and break. And people will not give you that because you're not giving it to yourself. It's, you see that feeling of guilt that you feel when you say no, it's going to fade. It's going to fade. But you need to remember that you love yourself more than that feeling of guilt, and the feeling of guilt is temporal. But you saying I can't or you saying no, you are setting boundaries, and people will turn to respect the boundaries when they realize that after a couple of tries, they realize that you keep saying no, they're going to start respecting the boundaries and be like, oh, she finally realized that we are taking advantage of her. She's finally standing up for herself or himself, and so that's not a boundary we can't cross anymore. But I just said I should say that if you need me to talk more on things like that, just comment below. Like I said, thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your girl Solange Daniel, and I love you. See you next time. Bye.